November. Here we are at the start of it. What have you got planned and what do you intend to do? And have you written it down? What happened in October? What were those goals that you set in October that you're now looking forward to using and doing and creating now that we're in November? Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started. Hello, welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite-Sized Podcast. How the devil are you? Can you believe that we're in November? I cannot believe it. I have got so much going on right now. Moving house, I've just been traveling. It's so much, just so much going on. Do you feel that way sometimes? You must do. You must absolutely feel that way. I cannot be alone in this. Admittedly, I'm Gen X, so I have a slight sort of attitude of can do, will do, we'll just get it done. Stop talking to me now. So I do just get stuff done because it needs to be done. But that's not to say I don't have overwhelm like everybody else, because I do. It's not to say I don't get stressed like everybody else, because of course I do. I just handle it differently. So here we are in November, and yet November is actually one of my favorite months of the year. Isn't that bizarre? The weather is nice. It's mild. There's nothing too awful about it. The garden is actually looking lovely. Everything about the environment is really nice. I can go on walks. It's not 40 degrees yet. There've been the odd day, whatever. But it's just lovely outside. And if you're studying, if you're a student, then hopefully your exams are finished or they're in the process of finishing. So you've got something to look forward to. If you've got children at school, then if they're at primary school, they're just getting on. They're just doing the school stuff. It's just all happening around them. Older ones, yes, they're doing exams. You might have a little bit more stress. But again, everybody's just looking forward to that summer break and being able to just relax in the sun. In my case, find a house, move into it. But these things are always changing, aren't they? But it does bring me, I shouldn't say and, because it does bring me to the discussion around seasonal offerings for your clients. So we have our regular clients, don't we? And they come in all the time, but then we need a bit of a bump of things happening. So November's a great time to start emailing your clients and saying, are you ready for the summer holidays? Are you going away? Do you need a package to help you, if you're going to Bali, to avoid Bali belly? There's some wonderful little packages we can create and give to our clients. I always send out an email to all of my clients coming up to summer, where are you going? What country will you be traveling to? Do you need some things to help make sure you don't get sick? But seasonal packages and programs are really helpful because it means we only launch a certain number of times. It means that you're ready to launch for those times and it's a repeatable process, right? Because launching's stressful. November's hugely stressful for me right now, even though it's my favorite month. October was my birthday month, so that was a good month too. December's a great month because it's holidays. But November is a month I enjoy. And so when I think about what am I offering my clients in November, I'm always thinking about the fact that if I haven't just launched something, so for you guys, Black Friday coming up, there's going to be some really cool done for you stuff coming up there. But for my clients, now is the time because everything's organized, everything has a flow right now. People are a little bit worried about things, but they're in flow because things are kind of static in the world. Well, unless you're in a hot world hotspot, but let's not talk about that. I'm talking about the people in your hometown in Adelaide or Melbourne or Sydney or Auckland or London or whatever it is. It's pretty static for them in November. Nothing big is happening. So it's a great time for us to be organizing for post-Christmas. It means that people do eat and drink a lot over that period of time, whether it's Christmas for them or Hanukkah or whatever it is, or whether like me, they don't celebrate, but they do celebrate. We still have a day off and we still eat food, right? So it's a great time to be thinking about what are we going to be doing? What are we going to be offering in the new year that people still do New Year's resolutions? Seems weird because we all know they fail, but we can offer that and reformulate it, discuss it in a different way with our clients so that they think, hey, I'm getting ready for the new year. I've rushed and hassled leading up to the summer holidays. Here I am in the summer holidays and I want to get healthy for the new year and be ready for it. So we're going to have that influx of people who are thinking about their health in the new year. They're thinking about their weight. Now, weight is generally attached to other healthcare problems. So it's great to have a weight loss program sitting there on the side. That's what I always did, because they'd come to me with all these things and they'd say, and hey, I want to lose weight. So I was able to do the weight loss almost as a side issue. And as they started getting better, they were using the weight loss program that was helping them. They'd done any testing or analyses I needed them to do. I had them on the right supplements anyway. And then there was this ongoing support. And then there were a few people who came for weight loss. And then as we lost some of that weight, we uncovered old symptoms and we dealt with those. It's a really interesting sort of back and forth situation when you've got people who want to lose weight and yet there are the symptoms underneath, or sometimes the weight is masking symptoms, which is always really interesting. So it's great to have, and I always had it there, uniquely entitled Weight Loss Thursday, which of course nobody would ever call anything now, but I did everything on a Thursday. So I caught up with my clients. I did a Thursday late night. That's when we did everything on a Thursday. So it became, I would text everyone, I would connect with everyone. And that's part of my Done For You program that I'm creating so that you guys have it sitting there. So it's really easy to use. But what I want to talk really about today is prepping, being a prepper and prepping for the coming summer when you probably don't want to be working as much. It's November. You want to be saving your money a little bit now, waiting for the Black Friday deals to come out to see which ones suit you the most. I know I always get a couple of things. I know Black Friday always feels odd to say as an Australian. I do consider myself an Australian now after living in Australia more than I've lived anywhere else in the world. I lived in New Zealand till I was 20. I lived in the UK for 15 years. So Australia is now home at almost 22 years. So saying the words Black Friday does conjure up some difficulties for all of us. But I did try a couple of years back calling it a Green Friday. And guess what? There's no hashtags for that. So it didn't really happen. So yeah, back to calling it Black Friday, I'm afraid. How are you organizing yourself? What are you doing in November? If you look around you, it's a good time to sort out those boundaries, to figure out what you're going to be doing in the new year going forward. You should have already done that in October. You should have clarified and got your goals sorted. We've got the virtual retreat coming up in the academy as well with all of my people, all the people that pay me. So if you want to pay me some money, you can come to it too. Probably easier to email me or book a one-to-one with me so we can figure out what you need. But November, here we are at the start of it. What have you got planned and what do you intend to do? And have you written it down? What happened in October? What were those goals that you set in October that you're now looking forward to using and doing and creating now that we're in November? I'm going to leave it there because I know that you've got things to think about. I do like to leave you with thoughts for things that you need to sit down and write out or figure out. And as usual, if you've made it all the way to the end, then as all small businesses, I'd love you to go and scroll down the page on whatever system you're listening to me on. Is it Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever it is? Scroll down, it might be YouTube podcasts. Scroll down and give me a 5-star review because, like all of us, we all need reviews. And as I've said, if you haven't heard me say it before, as soon as someone says they're happy with your service, that's when you go straight in and ask for that review. And I figure on a podcast, you've made it all the way to the end. You must be pretty happy. I'm going to leave it there for now. And I really look forward to catching up with you next week on the podcast and, of course, around the traps. Let me know what you're up to. Keep in contact and let me help you out wherever I can. Cheers for now. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.